Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. Yes, children, till now in the animal kingdom we have completed first 5 phylums. So still we have more phylum to study, but according to our schedule, after these 5 phylums we have to start one more lesson, that is a unit of life. So in this particular lesson, you will be studying about the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell in detail. So that after completing the unit of life, we will take up the remaining phylum of the animal kingdom. That means from annelid to till the chordata phylum, we will study after completing the unit of life. Understood? So this is our plan. So this will make you to understand the further phylum in a better way. So that I'll stop the animal kingdom lesson till the 5th phylum. So from our next video, I'll start the one more new lesson, that is the unit of life. Yes, okay children? Yes. So now just have a glance on the things what we have studied in the animal kingdom. So as I said, we have already completed first 5 phylums. So this glance will help you to remind all the this thing important characteristic features regarding those phylum. Yes, now let us have a look into the characteristic feature here. So on the same screen you have first three phylums of the animal kingdom, from Porifera to till Ctenophora. So the Porifera, in these phylum, the animal showing cellular level of organization. That means their body is organized by only cells. And if you see the symmetry, they are not showing any specific symmetry, even though we have few exceptional cases. They are showing radial symmetry, but maximum are asymmetric. Then if you see this coelom, the body cavity, so body cavity is absent. That means a coelom is nothing but what? The cavity between gut wall and the body wall. Clear? So coelom is completely absent here. Then if you see the digestive system, there is no digestive system, and circulatory system is also absent, respiratory system is also absent. Then let us come to the distinctive feature. What is the unique feature can be found in Porifera members? Yes, pores. Clear? So the body wall, that means the entire body consists of minute pores. So these pores helps in circulation of water in and out of the body. Clear, right? So that circulation of water forms a unique canal system within the organism. That canal system is called as water canal system or water transport system. So this is one unique distinctive feature can be seen in the members of Porifera. So because of that, the common name what we use for the members of Porifera is sponges. So this is the diagram of sponges. You can see on the surface of body wall minute pores will be present. So because of the presence of pores all over their body, these organisms are commonly known as sponges. Yes. Which is the second phylum? Yes, Coelenterata. So Coelenterata members are little advanced compared to the members of Porifera because the body organization is little complex here. Understood? What is the level of organization? So these animals are showing tissue level of organization. So there are different tissues are present to perform different function in the animal. And if you see the symmetry in Coelenterata, they are showing radial symmetry. So you already know, children, the meaning of radial symmetry, right? Yes. Then if you see the coelom is absent again here because there is no cavity between the gut wall and body wall. Gut wall is not actually present in the Coelenterata members. So because of that, there is no coelom. And if you see the digestive system is incomplete because the gastrovascular cavity is present. The gastrovascular cavity consists of only one opening at the anterior region. So that opening we are actually calling as what? Mouth. Understood? So because the gastrovascular cavity consists of only one opening, the digestive system is considered to be a incomplete digestive system. And the circulatory system, respiratory system and Other systems are absent here. Then the distinctive feature here is nidoblast cells. So nidoblast cells are actually stinging cells. They are present on the surface of tentacles. Clear? So these cells help to the organism in order to capture the prey. So because of these specialized cells, what we can notice on the surface of Coelenterata members, they are commonly called as cnidaria. Understood, right? So these are the general characteristic features what we can see in the members of Coelenterata. Understood? So children's, one thing you should make clear, we are only studying about the general characteristic feature, not the specific characteristic feature in each of the member belong to that particular phylum. Clear? So generally all the members, what the characteristic features we are observing, so those characteristic features are we are studying here. Understood? So not we are specifically picking one organism and we are telling the characteristic feature. Generally, what are the characters we can observe in the particular phylum, that is we are understanding here. Clear? Yes. Let us have a look into the third phylum, that is Ctenophora. So Ctenophora members are also showing tissue level of organization. So here we have the example of Pleurobrachia. Then if you see the symmetry, they are showing radial symmetry, and coelom is absent. Then the digestive system is incomplete digestive system because it consists of only one opening for the ingestion and egestion of the material. Then the circulatory system is absent. Respiratory system is also absent. Then very distinctive feature what we can notice here is comb plates. So you can notice in the diagram 8 number of comb plates will be present on the surface of body. So because of the presence of comb plates, they are commonly known as comb jellies. So they appears like jellyfish, but they are specifically called as comb jellies because of the presence of comb plates. So what is the function of comb plate? Yes, it helps in movement. That means locomotion in the animal is takes place with the help of these comb plates. Clear? So these are the general characteristic features of Ctenophora members. Clear, children? So on the same screen we have few general characteristic features of 3 different phylum. I hope you understood these general characteristic features. Yes, let us move on to the 2 more phyla we have studied, that is the Platyhelminthes and Aschelminthes. So in the tabular column you can observe the general characteristic features of these 2 phylum members. So let us first have a look into the Platyhelminthes. So this is the diagram. Example of animal comes under the Platyhelminthes. So what is the level of organization in the Platyhelminthes members? Yes, they are showing organ level of organization because we can notice some organs in the organism to perform some of the function. Then the kind of symmetry in the organism is bilateral symmetry. That means the body can be divided into 2 equal halves only through one plane passing through the central axis. Clear? And if you see the coelom is absent here. Understood? So coelom is completely absent, so that they are acoelomates. Then the digestive system is incomplete digestive system, and circulatory system is absent, respiratory system is also absent. Then one of the distinctive feature what can be seen here is the presence of suckers. So most of the members are parasitic organisms in the Platyhelminthes. So best example we can give for parasite is tapeworm. Clear? So hooks and suckers are commonly present in the parasitic organisms. And one more common feature what we can observe here is their body is flat. On the dorsal as well as on the ventral surface, their body is very flat, so that they are commonly known as flatworms. Clear, right? Yes. The next phylum, next to the Platyhelminthes, we have Aschelminthes. So Aschelminthes are a little advanced compared to the Platyhelminthes in their body organization. So here we have the diagram of Aschelminthes. So for the appearance, the organisms are looking little different compared to the Platyhelminthes, right? So what is the level of organization here? Yes, they are showing organ system level of organization. Then what is the symmetry? They are showing bilateral symmetry. And if you see the coelom is pseudocoelom. That means false coelom is present in the members of Aschelminthes. What do you mean by pseudocoelom? So pseudocoelom is the false coelom. Why we are calling it as false coelom means the body cavity will be present, but that is not lined by mesoderm layer. There is no mesoderm layer on either side of the body cavity. So instead of that, the mesoderm layer is present in the form of pouches. Clear, right? So because of this, the body cavity here in the Aschelminthes members called as pseudocoelom. Understood, right? So because the animals consist of pseudocoelom, the animals are named as pseudocoelomates. Clear? So we have difference between the pseudocoelomate and pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom is actually false cavity and pseudocoelomates are the animals consisting of pseudocoelom. Understood? Yes. Then if you move to the digestive system is complete type of digestive system because the digestive system consists of two openings. Mouth will be present in the anterior end and anus is present at the posterior end. So intaking of food material takes place through the mouth and digestion of solid undigested waste takes place through the anus. So the digestive system is complete type of digestive system here. Then the circulatory system is absent, respiratory system is also absent, and one of the distinctive feature can be seen in the members of Aschelminthes is they are often worm shaped. That means they are actually got a round circular shaped body and they are elongated. That means they are very long in their appearance. Their body structure is elongated, and because of their characteristic body shape, they are commonly known as roundworm. Clear? So these are the few things what we have studied. I hope you remember these general characteristic features what I taught you in the animal kingdom. Yes, thank you.